Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to lesson 4 plus 5 from unit 1 media for grade 10 students. This presentation is prepared and presented by Mr. Salim Ashur. Lesson 4 objectives. First, interpret visual data to answer questions about 2 pie charts. 2. Read a summary of the information in 2 pie charts for specific information. 3. Write 4 sentences about a pie chart for complete gaps in a summary. Activity number 1. Read and discuss. Match the 4 charts with their names. This is the first chart, the second chart, the fourth chart, and the fourth chart, the third chart and the fourth chart. Here we have pie chart, column chart, line graph, and bar chart. As you can see, pie usually has circular shape, so probably number 4 is the corresponding one. Concerning column chart, here we have columns. You see columns, so probably number 1 is column chart. Concerning number 2, as you can see here we have line, so lines, so probably number 2 is line graph. And finally here we have bars, so number 3 is a bar chart. So let's check. So number 1 is column chart, number 2 is line graph, number 3 is a bar chart, and finally number 4 is a pie chart. Good. Let's move on to activity number 2. Read and answer. Look at the 2 pie charts below and answer the following questions. Here we have 4 questions, and these are the 2 pie charts. Question number 1. What do the 2 pie charts show? Actually, this question might be find the answer in the title of the charts. So look here. Social media used by men and women aged 18 to 24 years in the USA in 2018. This is actually the answer for question number 1. What do the 2 pie charts show? They show social media used by men and women aged between 18 and 24 years in the USA in 2018. Question number 2. What is the most popular type of social media for both men and women? Here we have the pie chart for men, and here we have the pie chart for women. As you can see, the most popular for men is the blue color. The key is Facebook. Concerning women, also the blue color and the key the same, which is Facebook. So the answer for question number 2 is the most popular social media for both men and women is Facebook. Question number 3. What is the least popular type of social media for both men and women? The least popular. As you notice here, this red color, which stands for WhatsApp here. This is for men, only 9%. For women, also here we can say that WhatsApp also, or maybe Twitter, is the least, but for both is WhatsApp, because for men we have Twitter has a higher percentage. If we group the percentages of WhatsApp, we have 19% for both, but we have 31% for both. That is, Twitter has or is more popular. So the least popular is the keyword here, which is the least popular social media for both men and women is WhatsApp. Concerning question number 4, do the pie charts show any significant difference in social media use between men and women? Of course, here there is a significant difference, as we noticed here within Twitter. We have 22% for men and only 9% for women. So the answer is yes. And this is called the most significant difference in social media. Good. Now we have the third task, which is on your classbook, page 8 and 9. Read the summary of the charts in activity 2 and answer the question. And this is the summary. We have 4 questions. Which 3 main pieces of data are discussed in the summary? Question number 2, how is the data from the charts used in the summary? Question number 3, what tense is the summary written in? And finally, has the author included their opinion in the summary? The learning strategy. Understanding how to analyze and describe information in charts is an important skill, especially for international examinations. As you can see, we have 3 main paragraphs in this summary. Let's start with question number 1. Which 3 main pieces of data are described in the summary? This question we have data. Data means information, but 3 main data are presented in this summary. We have the most popular type of social media. We have also the least popular type of social media. And finally, the third one is the most significant difference in social media. Let's move on to question number 2. How is the data from the charts used in the summary? If we look into the text, the data is shown here: 39%, 40%, 10%, and actually these are the forms, which are the percentages: 19%, 20%, etc. Question number 3. What tense is the summary written in? When we say the tense, means we should look at the verbs. Let's focus on paragraph number 1. We have the first verb, which is illustrate. The 2 pie charts illustrate. So there is no addition here of any with a plural subject. Also, we have Facebook is, and this is the auxiliary be. Also, we have another is, which is the auxiliary be. This means that the tense used in this summary is the present simple. Yeah. Now, question number 4. Has the author included their opinion in the summary? As you know, an opinion means that the person may say, I think that, or my opinion. So, when you look for these expressions, you will not find any of them. So, the answer will be definitely no. Yeah? Has the author included their opinion in the summary? No. Good. Now, we are still with this summary. Read and match. Read the summary again. Match the sentences from 1 to 9 to the descriptions from A to E below. We have, these are sentence number 1, sentence number 2, sentence number 3, from 4 to 8, and the last sentence actually is the final paragraph. So, let's start by the first sentence. The two pie charts illustrate the social media platform used by men and women in the USA aged between 18 and 24 years in 2018. This can be what? Either an analysis of specific details in the chart, highlighting significant similarities or differences, which is not the case here, an introductory sentence that gives an overview of what the chart shows. Exactly. So, sentence number 1 matches with the statement B. Excellent. Now let's move on to statement or sentence number 2. Overall, Facebook is the most popular social media platform for both genders. So here, which one that describes this sentence? A description of the lowest? No. Conclusion? No. A description of the highest proportion shown in the chart? Yes, the highest. And here we have the most popular. So E matches with sentence number 2. Let's read sentence number 3 now. The least popular, from the first phrase here, we can know that this is what? A description of the lowest. Yes, so C matches with number 3. Now, look at the second paragraph. Actually, the second paragraph is what? Is an analysis. So here, analysis of specific details. As you can see here, we have specific details regarding the most significant difference here fairly equally, or here in contrast we have also specific details. So A matches with sentences from 4 to 8. Finally, the last sentence, which is the last paragraph, actually is a conclusion. So D matches with number 9. Excellent. Of course, here this is how a summary is written and organized. You should be familiar with this structure because later on you are going to be asked to write a summary. So you should be careful about the structures used in this summary. Okay, let's move on now. Read and choose. Read the extracts from the summary. Replace the words and phrases in bold with the synonyms in the box. We have men and women. To summarize, in general, show, on the other hand, main, while. The extracts. The two pie charts illustrate the social media platforms used by men and women in the US. So here the word illustrate, which word matches with it from the box? Of course, is show, illustrate or show. Good. Overall, Facebook. When we say overall, that does it mean what? Yes, excellent. In general. In general. Here you should pay attention. After full stop, the letter I should be put in capital letter. Then, Facebook is the most popular social media platform for both genders. Genders means what? Yes, good, means men and women. Excellent. Number 4. In contrast, Twitter is not as popular as Snapchat with women. So here, in contrast means what? We have contradiction here. So when we have a contradiction, we should use on the other hand. On the other hand, also here pay attention. The O should be written in capital letter because it's the beginning of the sentence. Let's continue. Only 9% of women use Twitter, whereas here also we have contrast. So what we can say, whereas, yes, good, we can use while. So while 22% of men use it. Then we have overall social media used between young men and women in the USA in 2018 is fairly similar. Overall means what? Yeah, excellent. Means to summarize. To summarize, social media use between young men and women in the USA in 2018 is fairly similar. The most significant difference means the main here difference between the genders is seen with the use of Snapchat and Twitter. Good. Actually, here we should learn the synonyms of these words written in bold letters so that we can change our writing a little bit, and this will be more interesting for the reader. Yes, here we have another application, how to read and answer here questions from a chart. Here, study the chart and answer the questions. What is the chart about? Yes, so this is an easy question. When we have a typical question about the chart, this means that we should look where? Yes, the title, of course. The title of the chart is an answer for such a question. What is the chart about? What does the chart illustrate? What does the chart show? The answer is from the title of the chart. Yeah. Which is, question number 2, which is the most popular sport for boys? So the key word in this question is the most popular sport for boys. If you look at the chart, we have the keys at the bottom, the boys and the girls. This question is for boys. So we should find the most popular sport for boys. That is the highest. If you look at the column, the highest of boys is this one. Yeah, so the answer is definitely football. Very good. Number 3, which is the least popular sport for girls? Look also at the key of here this chart. We have girls, the gray color of the column. So the least, when we look here, the least, this one, yeah, so it's running. Excellent. Which sports are more popular with girls than boys? So not only one sport, all the sports which are more popular with girls than boys. So this is the first one, swimming. As you can see here, the girls increase in number with regard to boys. So swimming is more popular with girls than boys. This is the first one. The second one, of course, is hockey. As you can see here, the girls like this sport more than boys. And finally, of course, running. Running here is more popular with girls than boys. So your final answers should be written in the provided spaces as it follows. Sports played by boys and girls at the IB school in 2018. This is the answer of question number 1. What is the chart about? Question number 2. Which is the most popular sport for boys? The answer, football. Question number 3, which is the least popular sport for girls? Of course, is running. And the final question, which sports are more popular with girls than boys? We should mention the 3 sports in red circles, which are swimming, hockey, and running. Excellent. Let's move on to the second task, read and complete. Of course, the chart, we answer the question. Here we are going to use this chart in order to complete the gaps in these sentences. So, look at the chart in activity 1 again. Use the information from the chart to complete the sentences below. So you can stop the video, do this exercise by yourself, then try to check your answers from this video. And here we go. Number 1, the illustrates played by at the IB school in. Of course, this first sentence can be easily found from the title of the chart. So we say the here column chart illustrates sports played by boys and girls, yeah, at the IB school in, and here we mention the year, which is 2018. Overall, at the IB school are more interested in playing sports than, so here, of course, boys at the IB school are more interested in playing sports than girls. So let's check. Yes, good answer. The most popular sport for boys is football, as we have seen previously, with a total of 60 boys playing the sport. The sport for girls is hockey, with a total of girls playing this sport. So I think the least popular. Yes, really? Okay, we are going to check this later on. Yes, the most popular sport for girls is hockey. Yes, of course, is hockey, with a total of 55 girls playing the sport. Excellent. Concerning number 5, the sport for both is running. Yes, this one is the least popular sport for both girls and boys, or boys and girls, is running, or genders. Excellent. We use the synonym. Is running, with only 5 boys and 10 girls participating in the sport. We use the word genders here instead of girls and boys in order to avoid the repetition, because boys and girls are mentioned here, so it's better to use genders to avoid the repetition. Number 6, a number of boys and girls play tennis. It is also a popular sport, but not popular football and hockey. So here we have a similar number. A similar number of boys and girls play tennis. It is also a popular sport, but not as popular as football and hockey. Number 7, the most significant difference in the type of sports played by boys and girls is, of course, football. This is the most popular sport for boys, so it's up to students to summarize their conclusion. Yes, let's move on to the next task, which is actually homework. This is another practice for analyzing a chart. So you are familiar now about how to answer these type of questions. Write a sentence that describes what the chart shows. That is the answer. What does the chart shows, illustrates, etc. What does the chart show, or what does the chart illustrate, etc. So this is very easy. Includes a comparative adjective. Example, more popular. Includes a superlative adjective. Example, the most or the least popular. Includes the structure, not as, adjective as, or not as popular as. This is an example. So here, this is the pie chart. Is about favorite book genders of grade 10 students in Oman. We have action, we have poetry, we have mystery, drama, also we have science fiction. So try to answer these tasks, and later on you'll get the link how to answer it in your Google Classroom. The next step also is homework. Think and discuss. Look at the two pairs of pie charts below. Working pairs discuss the information shown in the charts. We have option A, option B. This is the title of the two first charts. This is the title of the two second charts. We have boys, girls, also boys and girls, and at the bottom we have the keys. After reading these information or these data, you should do what? Plan. You are going to write a summary about one of the pairs of pie charts from activity 4. Choose option 1 or option 2. That is only two pairs of charts. Complete the plan provided on page 44 of this book. So, you are going to write the first draft of your summary in your exercise book. Concerning the learning strategy, refer to the writing reference pages 54 and 55 for more support. Here, a summary of two pie charts. This is how to plan your writing. You should write 3 paragraphs. Explain what the chart shows and describe the main trends in the chart in paragraph number 1. That is sentence 1, 2, and 3 as we have seen previously in the summary. Also, paragraph number 2 describes the charts in more detail, highlights significant results, similarities, or differences. Paragraph number 3 summarizes the key findings in the charts and any reasons for this. Here we have a summary of a chart, informative. This is how to organize here. Highlight the most important trends. Describe the most significant important piece of information in the chart. Use numerical data from the chart in your description. Of course, you can use either percentages or numbers. The organization, paragraph number 1. Give an overview of the information in the chart and include a sentence that describes a chart. Example, what, where, when, and who. The chart or the graph shows. The chart or the graph illustrates. This is the beginning of our first paragraph. The second point, a description of the main trends shown in the chart overall in 2010, or the main trend shown by the chart is, or in general, between year and year, and you continue your analysis. Paragraph number 2. Write a more detailed description of the trends in the charts and highlight significant results, similarities, or differences. So you can use both genders, countries, groups, etc. Similarly, that is the similarity, the most significant difference is, you should highlight the most significant difference in this sentence. In contrast, you can use something that is in contrast of what you have said or what you are going to explain in the next sentence. Finally, paragraph 3 summarize the key findings shown in the chart. To summarize or to conclude are two expressions that can be used in this last concluding paragraph. Finally, this is an example. You can here find some details concerning this summary of chart. Here we have the title of this chart, or this chart shows the expenditure in euro of France and Italy on consumer goods in 2010. Here we have the numbers. We have the cars, computers, books, perfume, and camera. France in gray, Italy in black. So you can read the column chart illustrates the amount of money spent on 5 different products: cars, computers, books, perfume, and cameras in Italy and France in 2010. Overall, Italy spent more than France on these products. Both Italy and France spent the most amount of money on cars. The most significant difference in spending was in relation to cameras. People in Italy spent around 350,000 euros on cameras, whereas people in France spent the least amount on cameras. In contrast, Italy spent the least amount of money on perfumes. To summarize, Italy and France spent a similar amount of money on cars and computers in 2010. However, their spending habits in other categories are quite different. So, you can learn from this example in order to write your summary. And finally, thank you for your attention. I hope that you benefited from this lesson.